Hey mom friends, this is Functional Medicine for Moms, where we look at motherhood through the lens of functional medicine. I'm your host, Kelly Moline, a pharmacist with advanced training in functional medicine. From pregnancy and postpartum to everyday parent life, we talk root causes, natural solutions, and real stories from our own family's journey, plus conversations with experts along the way.
And action.
Welcome back to another episode of Functional Medicine for Moms, our podcast. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Landon, Kelly's husband and father of our little baby Danielle.
Yeah. And I already said my stuff in the intro, but pharmacist, functional medicine consultant, wife, mom, all the things. And today we have a fun episode planned, just talking about life updates with our 15-month-old. Technically, she turns 15 months old tomorrow, but by the time this is released, she'll be 15 months. So we're calling it, we're rounding, right?
We're rounding up.
She's basically there. So today we're going to talk about what's new right now with her, our 15-month-old Danielle. And then we're going to talk about feeding, nursing, and meals, where we are now. We'll talk about sleep and our routine. And we'll talk about what's hard right now, and then that'll be it for the episode. But before we get into it, I would like to ask whoever's listening to please subscribe. We've been on the podcast now for coming up on a year. I think we started in May or June of 2025. So that's exciting.
That's pretty crazy.
And so, yeah. I think a lot of you guys have followed along with our story and the first year in parenthood as new parents and trying to figure everything out ourselves and researching a lot along the way. And as a functional medicine provider myself, I like to incorporate a lot more holistic things into parenthood too. So we're talking about that, and for the family, for the child, for the moms are really like the center of the household. Everything goes through the mom. So yeah, this episode is for you.
Sounds good. And the dads, I don't know. We're just around.
I'm sure there are some dads probably listening, or at least some moms saying, hey, listen to this. There's a dad on the podcast too. Because I've sent you some that are like, this is a husband and wife, so you can listen too.
You shout out the moms, and I'm like, should I shout out the dads? I don't know.
You certainly can. Because you share your perspective on a lot too, which I'm sure is really helpful. And I mean, I can only say from the mom perspective, but I like hearing the dad perspective as a mom of like, oh, that's how my husband could be thinking, or, you know, when I listen to other podcasts too.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's new right now? Well, what's not new, she's not quite walking yet. We're going to get there, but she's honestly not really interested. I shared a little video of her taking 2 steps. And that was like when my mom was in town over Easter, and my mom was so determined that she's going to help Danielle start walking. And then within 30 minutes of them being here, she takes 2 steps. So I'm like, wow, this is really going to happen. And now, absolutely not. She does not want to.
No, she literally refuses to. You ask her if she wants to walk, and she shakes her head no. So
that is something that she learned recently.
To say no? Like by shaking her head? Or
shakes her head. Yeah. And I think she copies me when I'm like, no, no, no. Mm-hmm. And I'll shake my head. And so then she shakes her head back at me, which is really cute. But she's definitely learning to shake her head. And I think she's learning if she shakes her head and I then say like, oh, no, you don't want that. And so she's learning that it has like value to it.
Yeah. No. So that's kind of a new thing that she's doing. She's not walking, but she's saying no in her own way.
She's starting to learn how to nod. Yes. The last couple days too, though. So that's more helpful. But yeah, she's not talking a lot. She still says mama and babbles a lot. And she signs, but we don't have a lot of verbal communication quite yet in my book.
With all the other like kids that we have over that are around her age, I just get the feeling that we're like behind with her as far as the walking goes and stuff like that. But I think it's just, I don't know if it's just like because I'm competitive in nature and stuff, and I'm like I compare, but I'm like I feel like it's just gonna be one of those things where like she'll stand up on her own without holding on to anything. She'll stand straight up and just stand there, and she knows like she gets impressed with herself, but then I feel like she almost knows that we want her to take steps forward, and so she like doesn't do it. And I think it's one of those things where we're just gonna have to let her do it randomly.
Yeah.
And like all of a sudden she's just gonna be walking across the floor, and we're gonna look down and be like, oh, so
Right. I think there is a lot of pressure that like walking and talking, like when we're asking her to say things, I don't think that that's bad, especially when we're giving her like actual time to respond. But I think the pressure, like there's added pressure when you're like, say ball, this is a ball, say ball, rather than talking about the ball and letting them talk as well where they want to. So yeah, I think there's pressure, and we're just adding pressure where there doesn't need to be pressure. And yeah, we have like Danielle has little friends that are around her age, but they are all a couple months older. And then like we've talked about, Danielle was a preemie by 5 weeks.
True.
So there's that as well. But I think also it feels more competitive because it is our first. So we're like very much in the know of what she is and isn't doing. Where when it's your second, third, etc., I think people are like, oh, they're talking, they're walking, and the kids like want to keep up with their older siblings. So I think they do those things a little bit faster.
yeah, no, I wouldn't be worried about second or third kid or anything like that. I think yeah, you're just kind of like, oh, I'm excited for her to walk, and so
Yeah.
I want her to, but I don't want to push her too hard. But I mean, and she's really smart. Like she knows how to get into everything. But yeah, I think walking is just going to come on her own time. I don't think we're far off from it, but
Well, and
yeah.
like you said, I think people attribute like all of their skills and all of their things that they're accomplishing with how smart they are. Because I hear that all the time of like, oh, my baby is so smart. They did this at this many months, you know? And as parents, we do get a little bit competitive. And that's, I think we're like, oh, they're so smart, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think that necessarily means they're smart or not. And some kids start walking at 10 months and some start walking at 15 or 16 months. And by the time they're 3, no one knows when they started walking. There's no expert walkers out there. So it just will happen when it happens.
Yeah. What would be our brag for her right now? By 15 months, she can scale the stairs pretty quickly.
She's a very good climber. No, she's been crawling since 6 or 7 months, and I think 7 months, because she like was starting to crawl before she could fully sit up, and then she was standing, like pulling herself up to stand like a month later. So I'm like, oh, this is all gonna happen really fast, which I was really surprised with, since again she was a preemie, and then since then, nothing, Yeah. Like obviously she's better at all of that, but I thought like, oh, for sure she's going to be walking so fast because she was good at crawling so fast. But yeah.
You want to talk about other things she's doing right now?
She loves to close doors.
She does.
So anytime we get in a room, she wants to close the door, which I think is funny. But she can help me peel her bananas and her oranges. She What else does she do? She just really
She
likes.
cracks eggs.
She does crack eggs. She's a helper in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So almost every morning we make eggs. And so she hands me the eggs. And then sometimes she helps crack the eggs. And sometimes it's a really light crack. So I can then crack the rest. Sometimes we lose an egg because she cracked it all over the counter.
R.I.P.
But I know, and eggs are expensive right now. But we're learning. So yeah, there's a lot more cleanup.
It was funny at Easter because she got like an Easter egg, like a plastic Easter egg, and she was trying to crack them on the ground. It was hilarious. It was really cute.
Everyone's like, look inside, there's candy in there. Like she even knows what candy is because she doesn't have candy. But she just is trying to crack all the eggs. She's like, I know what this is. What else is she doing?
I mean, she's eating different things. I mean, I don't know. She's not really a picky eater. But
you want to move on to feeding and stuff?
Oh, is that, sorry, I'm jumping ahead to the next segment. Yeah, I don't know. Other things she's doing, yeah, I mean, that kind of covers it. Like, she's not doing anything too crazy. She definitely knows how to get into things, reaching up and getting into stuff that she's not supposed to. And so we have to like make sure everything's put away because she will find it.
Yeah, for sure. But we are doing activities. So like we're going to toddler time at the library. So that's fun. I have some friends, like I said, that have toddlers around her age. So we get together so that I can have her socialize a little bit, even though they are playing parallel. So parallel playing, they're playing next to each other. They're not really playing with each other, but you can definitely tell she's like, who is that? And then she'll try to like pass toys kind of thing. Like that's really what we're doing. But I would rather do that now than later on and her be like, I've never seen another child before, especially since we're home a lot. So I'm trying to be more adamant about getting out and about and all of that. And then she'll be in a part-time daycare at our church in the fall. So I'm really excited about that.
Nice. It starts in the fall? Okay.
In September. Yep. So
Gotcha.
It'll just be 2 days for like half days. And so that'll be a time where I can have independent time for my functional medicine business as well. Since I've been having a little bit more clients. And so I'm excited to have some like me time with that, whether that be for business, for resting, for housework, whatever. But yeah, Child's Day Out program. There's a lot of Mother's Day Out programs, and I think they are at churches or community centers and that type of stuff. So you can research one near you because I didn't really know about them until a friend told me, and I'm like, oh, that sounds like a great deal. Even if, I think it's meant for the stay-at-home mom to get things done or whatever, just get some time to yourself because stay-at-home mom is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, really quick before we jump back in, I just want to share this in case it's meant for someone listening right now. If you're a mom who feels like you're just surviving the day, relying on caffeine just to function, or if you've been feeling off in your body, even months or a year postpartum, you are not alone. I also work with women who are trying to prepare their body for their first pregnancy or their next pregnancy and want to do it a natural, proactive way. Through my functional medicine practice, I offer a health analysis appointment where we really take the time to look at your symptoms, your health history, your lifestyle, and decide which labs would actually be helpful for you. That might include things like cortisol and hormone testing, gut health, metabolic health, and more. And all of these labs get shipped directly to your home, so it's very convenient. Once results come in, we walk through them together so you can fully understand what's going on in your body, and we build a personalized supplement and health plan with optional coaching support as well. The goal isn't quick fixes, it's optimizing your health naturally and giving your body what it needs to heal the way it was designed to. If this sounds like something you've been needing, you can find the link in the show notes to learn more or schedule a call. All right, let's jump back in.
Yeah, the other thing I can think of that she does now too is she's starting to acknowledge the dogs more.
Oh, she's petting the dogs.
She's petting the dogs. She was, before she'd like feed them, like she would be aware when she dropped food on the ground that they would scramble to pick it up. And sometimes she would taunt them with food, but now she actually like goes and pets them. So it's kind of cute.
I will say she's signing a lot more.
True.
Like she's signing more. She signs please. She signs all done.
She blows kisses.
She blows kisses.
She gives hugs. Those are the best.
Yeah.
Love me some morning hugs.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that's all fun. So next, okay. Feeding, nursing, meals, all of that. So
you're weaning, breastfeeding.
Yeah. So I've talked a lot about weaning, breastfeeding, which is like really not happening right now because she has been teething and getting her molars in. And I don't know if you guys have a toddler right now or a child that this has happened to. I'm sure literally it's happened to everyone. But my goodness, it's not for the weak. And teething molars is a struggle. And with that, she has a lot of congestion and got a cold. And so we're just unhappy for like all of those reasons. And she lost a little bit of an appetite because of that. And I think she was just sore. So,
and when she can't breathe very much, like it's hard for her to like swallow food.
Yeah, there's a lot of snot going on. So, she's been asking for milk all the time. She's been signing for milk a ton. And so I would say 80% of the time say yes to it. But a lot of time I'm like, girl, do you want water or a snack? And then she shakes her head. But I still offer those. Yeah, so I feel like I'm nursing a lot more again.
Yeah, I know you're getting asked a lot because when I'm home, she's asking me for milk and she knows I can't give that. So
yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't give it. She looks at me like, she raised her eyebrow like, what? You're not going to help me out? I'm like, mm-mm.
And for the most part, she has been sleeping pretty good, but we've definitely had a few nights where she's been up and in pain. So she's been wanting milk there too. So yes, kind of weaning, but it ebbs and flows as she needs it. And you know what? That's what I'm here for. So, yeah, we're still on that nursing train, but like we said, she has a lot of eggs. In the morning, we make scrambled eggs. She loves that. I think she loves like being involved and then eating them. And then, yeah, just she eats whatever we eat, honestly.
Yeah, she's a pretty good eater. Not too picky. She tends to prefer the protein, which I'm not opposed to.
Yeah.
In the meal.
Like
she loves beans.
Oh, she loves beans.
She's kind of like, she has like streaks of where she'll like carrots and then she won't like carrots, and then she like green beans and then she doesn't eat the green beans. Like she kind of sometimes can pick around the vegetables, but she never shies away from fruit.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And she always loves the protein in the meal, and any beans, look out because she will eat the beans.
Mm-hmm. I think she likes the size of them and that they're squishy. And so she can just pick them out of anything and then eat them really quick. And yeah, she likes the protein for the most part, which is good. And then, yeah, if there's fruit available, she loves that.
She will stick it on her finger because she thinks that's funny.
That's the best joke in the world.
And then she will eat it after that.
Yeah. So she loves oranges, bananas. I do like whole fat Greek yogurt. So I try to mix the fruit in that a lot of the time. So at least we're getting some sort of fat and protein with the fruit rather than just having the fruit by itself. Or I'll try to do like a piece of cheese with the fruit. But yeah, she's also been going through a little bit of a phase of not liking cheese as much. So that makes it harder.
Did she like the freeze-dried strawberries?
She did.
Okay.
Yeah. I liked those, honestly. I eat half of them. But like those two, they're great. Like for toddler time, it was great because it kept her entertained enough, but it's not like there's a lot to them.
Yeah.
So it's not like they keep you full. And I'm eating half of her bag, so that's probably part of it. Yeah. We don't do a lot of like packaged snacks unless we're going to the park, going to toddler time. That makes it a little bit easier.
Do other people do purees at this point? Because we're not really doing a lot of purees or anything like that.
Not unless it's like an applesauce pouch where you're on the go, like those kind of things, which I did buy that too. So we
Applesauce?
have more applesauce. Yeah, so we have more like on the go snacks. Because we go to the park or wherever, and I'm like, what am I going to pack? Banana? Which I do. But, yeah.
Gotcha.
I need quick things to pack sometimes. Yeah. What else? I don't think anything else with eating. Do you have any updates on eating? I think she eats pretty good. But, yeah, right now she's just in a slump with not feeling the best. Which is normal.
No, she's a good eater.
Yeah. Okay.
What would you say her favorite meal is? Does she have a favorite meal?
Well, I made her spaghetti again today because I know she
I feel like she always
loves
eats the spaghetti. Yeah, that might be. Maybe she's a little bit Italian in there. I don't know.
Well, and whenever we have spaghetti, I play Italian dinner music on Alexa to give her the whole experience.
Wow.
I've never been to Italy, but I'm trying to give her the whole experience.
Gotcha.
And we put basil on our spaghetti tonight from our herb garden.
Very nice.
Yep. Okay. Next, moving on. So sleep and routine. We kind of talked about how she's not feeling the best right now. So things, again, ebb and flow with teething, with sicknesses and all of that. But honestly, I think she's doing really good with her sleep and routine.
Yeah. No, I feel like we haven't had many issues besides this, obviously, this period where she's been a little under the weather or teething.
Yeah.
So
she wakes up primarily around 7:30 every day, and then she naps after lunch. So right now we're like waking up, I nurse her, and then we go down and make breakfast, and then I give her a snack around 10 or 10:30, and then we do her lunch at 11:30, and then she naps at 12 to pretty much 2, and then we do another snack around 3, and then she has some pre-snacks for before dinner. Because when I'm cooking, she's like, why isn't this ready? And then dinner is at 5, and then we play and stuff afterwards, because like spaghetti night, if I put her in the bath right after dinner, she poops in the bath. We don't like that. So I let her play, and so if she needs to go number 2, she can do that, not in the bath. And then and then we do bath around like 6:20, 6:30, and then we do bed. So she's usually bed by 7:30 or so.
yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
No, she just, I had a perfect streak going with bath time, but she finally pooped in the bath on me and ruined my perfect streak.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
now
I wasn't quick enough.
You got a little more humble from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, honestly, with all of this, yes, there's still definitely tiring times, but I would take this over like those early newborn times, which is
100%.
like good and bad with everything, and everything is good. But like that first year, the first few months is really a lot with like the lack of sleep and trying to get that down. But I think the sleep just gets better and better. And there's definitely times, especially in the first year, you're like, am I ever going to sleep? Is this ever going to regulate? But it does. And now we have like 12-hour nights. And I remember at the beginning, I'm like, what is that like? And so I guess now we're spending it recording podcasts, but eventually we'll go to bed too.
Yeah, and as much as like, even when she does wake up in the night from time to time, like as much as it's tiring to go and like soothe her back to sleep or rock her back to sleep, especially when I'm working more often, or like if it's in the middle of the week and I've just been working all week, it is kind of nice to go and like rock her back to sleep. I get like some cuddle time in, so I do kind of enjoy that, even though I wake up more tired the next day for work. But yeah, so
fantastic. I will remember that. But I also have been loving that you've been going in and putting her back to sleep a little bit more. And so I really appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
And yeah, so does that pretty much cover sleep, I think?
Yeah.
And then, I will say on sleep, this is probably on me, but I do still nurse her to sleep and it only takes a couple minutes. I am trying, or I will eventually stop doing that so I can brush her teeth right before going to bed. But with everything, I feel like we're doing pretty good. So that's like our one caveat that we have right now. But eventually we'll get that switch so she doesn't have like the sugars for milk on her teeth at night.
Yes. She does like getting her teeth brushed though, too.
She does.
We didn't really mention that, but it's
Yes.
one of her favorite things.
Yes. She crawls and flips over so she's laying down in her lap so that we can brush her teeth and see all of her teeth. She loves it. Okay. What's hard right now?
Ooh, what's hard right now?
We try to be a positive podcast, so, but we're
about
also
that
try to
one.
be real. I think what's hardest right now is her teething and her sickness, and I feel like those always come hand in hand. So it just always feels like a double whammy, and so you just have to go with the flow, and you don't get all the sleep all the nights you want. Or like in the day, I think she's been just more clingy because she doesn't feel the best, or again, signing for milk all the time.
And I think like when she starts walking, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but like I'm thinking like when she starts walking, like she'll be thrilled to be walking around. So she won't want to be held as much. But like right now, I feel like she wants to be held all the time, which could be part of the reason. Like it could be because she's teething and not feeling well. But I do feel like she constantly wants to be entertained and wants you sitting right there, like as she plays, even if she's not playing with you. So it's that like constant attention you have to give her, which when I'm home from work, I'm totally fine giving her. But there comes a point in time where you're like, okay, like gotta get other stuff done. So that I think that's probably the hardest right now.
Well, even when I'm home, I'm like, I need to get other stuff done because I need to cook or clean or do housework and stuff. I can't just do it all. Well, there's no other times. I try to do it when she naps, but there's only so much I can get done.
Well, I think too, like her starting to walk will open up other activities we can do. But because she's crawling, like we can only do the same activities we've been doing for like, so many months, and we can try to switch things up with different activities, different toys and stuff. But I think that when she starts walking, it'll open up more activities that we can do.
Yeah. I shared this on my story a few times, but we do have a water table outside now, so that's fun. And she kind of like walks around the perimeter of that. So I feel like that could be helpful, but that's an outside activity that we've been having fun with.
To get to it, she'll do a little bear crawl.
Yeah, she bear crawls on the cement, which I like because all of her pants are so dirty now and stained from crawling outside. So a lot of times she doesn't have clothes on outside because we're getting our sunshine and we live in Texas. So
yeah,
that's how it goes.
It's hard to pick out like things that are hard right now because I feel like this phase has been so much easier than some of the beginning phases that we've gone through. So I'm like, I think having a kid is no walk in the park, but those first stages are just a lot more difficult. You get a lot less sleep. So.
I will say I used to bring her to a lot more like networking things and that kind of thing. And that was pretty simple because I could just like hold her and that would be it. But now she wants to, even though she wants to be held a lot, she also wants to be put down and she wants to crawl and she wants to explore. So I can't necessarily just like bring her anywhere. She has to be like involved a little bit more, entertained a little bit more, or it has to be a safe place where she can do all that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like sometimes when you're holding her, like she wants to go in a certain direction, so she'll point to like where she wants to go, and if you don't go, she gets upset. So it's like you when you're holding her, she's not just. Sometimes she's fine, just like watching you do it, whatever you're doing. But other times she wants to do something specific, and that can be more difficult. I would say like the hardest thing right now is, and this sounds corny and cliche, but it's like leaving her. right now is the hardest because she's so dang cute. And like leaving her to go to work all day, like that's just, you don't get to see her all day, especially if you're going to get to work, like we get home from work late, like at certain periods of the month. If I know I'm not going to see her like all day, it sucks.
Yeah, I bet.
But
On the flip side to that, the whining, I think, is a lot at this stage. And she's, again, we've talked about how she's not talking, like verbal communication, she's signs, but it's hard because we're like, what do you want? And it's a very much like a whiny noise. And so we're excited to have more words in her vocabulary. But then again, we've also heard from friends that they're like, oh, she knows the word and will say the word with a whine.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited for when she feels more confident with her verbal communication. So hopefully it doesn't feel so like frustrating for her to tell us what she wants.
For sure.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much it, but every stage like feels so fast, and like soon, hopefully sooner rather than later, she is walking around. And then I feel like that'll, like you said, just open up another door of activities, and we'll just be in a new phase because then we'll have a walking toddler.
Yeah. No, every phase goes by really, I feel like really quickly, and there's pros and cons of every phase. I feel like there's just, challenges, but also like fun things about every stage as well. So
For sure. Yeah.
here for it all.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I thought that this was fun, and we should do another one at like 18 months because I think there will be more things that will have changed by then. So catch us back then.
Alrighty.
But obviously listen to all the episodes in between because we'll talk about functional medicine.
Yes.
Yeah. But Lannon, wrap it up with a dad joke.
Okay, here we go. What do you say when a chicken is looking at a salad?
What the cluck?
Chicken sees a salad.
Oh. I don't know why I said that, but that is good. Chicken what?
Chicken sees a salad.
Sees a salad. Ha ha ha. That was good. Okay, I didn't get that one.
I had a fool you on one because you've been getting all of them lately. So
yeah, it made it a little harder. Well, anyways, guys, do not forget to subscribe if you've liked this podcast.
And share it with your friends.
And share it. So
thanks for listening.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to my podcast, Functional Medicine for Moms. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe so you never miss one, leave a quick 5-star review, and share it with your mom friends who love it too. I'm Kelly with a background as a pharmacist and training in functional medicine. I help women move past fatigue, brain fog, gut issues, and hormone struggles so they can thrive in everyday life or prepare for a healthy pregnancy. Through lab testing, personalized supplements, and functional medicine coaching, I help you feel better, faster, naturally. Want to connect more? Head over to molinmethod.com or come hang out with me on Instagram and YouTube at Functional Medicine for Moms. On my site, you can order professional grade supplements at my discount or book a free discovery call if you'd like to see how we can work together on your health. This podcast is for educational purposes only and not medical advice. Always talk to your provider before making changes to your health plan. And remember, healthy moms raise healthy families. Catch you next time. New episodes released every Wednesday.